It's Car Con Carne, presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. I'm in a Mazda right now that I got at the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. I've also been driving around this amazing Mazda CX-9, courtesy of the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. It's roomy. It's perfect for bands to travel, bring their gear along, go on road trips, feel safe as you're driving these miserable Chicago streets as it just keeps snowing and sleeting and being miserable outside. The Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. Go there, take a test drive. There you go.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
In my car right now, AM Taxi. Are you guys ready to play?
Yes.
Okay, I should mention also, after you play, you're going to sing for your supper.
We are.
There's a reward at the end of your performance. Oh my God, Adam, can you feel how hot this is?
Smells great, too.
Yeah, it's hot.
We are
It's
at
hot to the touch.
the legendary Lou Malnati's. I want to thank Lou's for setting us up with pizza tonight. This is heavy. This is heavier than Adam, actually. He's not saying something.
They load
like,
it up.
Yes, it is.
Adam Cryer's like 50 pounds soaking wet, but still, this is heavier than Adam.
And we'll devour it. So we're going to sing so we can then eat after
So
we
you can
sing.
earn the right to have dinner. All right, so AM Taxi just put out the new album, Shiver by Me. It's so good.
Thanks.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
And nice job at Reggie's. I guess it was 2 weeks ago
Reggie's,
at this
yeah,
point.
the release show. Yeah.
I was surprised you didn't open with St. Jane, speaking of the new album. Seemed like
Some people wanted to. Other people.
It was discussed.
It was discussed.
But you kind of eased in with the hits.
Yeah. It was a good chance to do something a little different. I think everybody expects the loud, fast rocker at first. And then we did a little slow jam to kind of...
You're a rock
Tease
band that you defy expectations.
I'd say so.
All right, so where are you going to play? I know this is... Adam, you were nervous about doing this. You weren't sure how this was going to work out. Your band in this car. Here we are. What have you worked up for tonight?
This is the debut outside of the studio in this form called Movie About Your Life. It's on our new record.
It is one of my favorite songs on the new record. The lyrics are just... I think they hit everybody when they first heard them. I remember I was trading messages with Daniel Wade, who opened up for you at Reggie's, and I think the song struck him the same way. If they made a movie about your life, would anybody see it twice? Are the characters and the plot worth the ticket price? Did this come from introspection? Is it about somebody?
No, I mean, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be something that anyone can latch onto. You know, some of these songs are real specific. Some of these songs are storytelling kind of tales about, certain people or places, and I kind of wanted something that was a little less specific.
Is Minute Alone an example of that storytelling?
Yeah. Which I'm glad you like that one because it's later, and I think people miss it sometimes. You brought that one up earlier to me on the text.
Buried treasure on the album, I think. All right, so you're going to play. This is the first time you've played it really in public in years. It's a new song. It's on the fantastic new album. AM Taxi is live in a Mazda. We're in Wicker Park. We're by the Lou Malnati's carryout location here. Already, David Page says, "Hey guys." Hey, David Page.
What's up,
right
David?
back at
Hey.
you.
How are you?
Yo.
All right, we got a mandolin in the back seat.
You can't see it though. Maybe you can.
It's here.
I love it. Thank you. All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to turn my mic off.
Lost it.
Okay.
I'm going to tilt this so we can see more AM Taxi and less JVO. All right, AM Taxi, go for it.
All right, we've got this is Adam, Jay, and Chris. Jason's not with us tonight, but we're part of AM Taxi. You've been through all that thick and thin, and it's only getting worse. When you wear with us, been wearing thin, something else in your purse. You cause a scene so naturally, but only time can tell. It's in the camera, the script will write itself. If they made a movie about your life, would anybody see it twice? Are the characters in the plot worth the ticket price? If they made a movie about your life, beautiful and black and white, but you only get one take to make it right. Will the theater be empty when the final act unfolds? With no one left to see your name at the end when the credits roll. Because it seems so naturally, but only time can tell. So the camera on, the script will write itself. If they made a movie about your life, would anybody see it twice? Are the characters in the plot worth the ticket price? If they made a movie about your life, we'll cast the lead in roles tonight. You can turn out to play a swan, wanna play the king of the pond, wanna play someone tonight in your life, in your life, in your life. Wanna play someone tonight in your life, in your life, in your life. About your life, would anybody see it twice? All the characters in the plot with the ticket price. If they made a movie about your life, you're beautiful and black and white. So you take that quick take, I can play the king of the pond. I wanna play someone tonight in your life, in your life, in your life. Wanna play someone tonight in your life, in your life. Your life, your life, your life. Wanna play someone tonight? Movie, your life, your life, your life.
Do we still get pizza? I think I messed up one of the lyrics.
I'm hungry.
You've absolutely earned your pizza. How great was that? If you're watching on Facebook Live, how great was that? AM Taxi performing live. Looks like Swizzle Steve has joined us on the Facebook Live.
Hi, Steve.
Who I saw at the AM Taxi show at Reggie's.
Yeah.
He's actually omnipresent. He's everywhere I go. He'll probably be at my house tonight. He's just everywhere I am. AM Taxi, that was so good. All right, so here's the question. I want to talk about your music. I want to eat Lou Malnati's pizza. Do you want to put your gear away?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I don't know how you're going to eat deep dish and hold instruments.
Luckily,
I don't have any gear. I'm just gonna start eating while you guys are
put the
gone.
Mando right here.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I'm
Well,
just kidding.
you can keep the conversation going as they ditch out of here.
Cheers.
I want to thank Tim for watching, also Daniel for watching.
Here, I'll tech for you.
Swizzle Steve gave me a ha-ha-ha.
Can't get rid of this.
See you at home, bro.
Thanks.
Oh, look at that. The pass-through. Oh, this is great.
Yeah,
He's-
look at
He's
this.
handling everything.
He's a good guy, Jay Marino.
I love
an
it.
issue. Wait a
What's
minute.
going on? Oh, a door issue. A lack of keys. Are we locked out?
Yeah.
You're
You
making that
locked
up.
us out of your car.
We're not locked out.
All right.
Do you really not?
Yeah,
not
they're
into
back
pizza?
here. We're good.
Okay. This podcast almost got really interesting.
That would have been fun.
Right.
Do you want to ditch that?
I'll ditch it. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Everything's
Actually, I
okay.
got plenty of room. We're good.
David William Fuller says, sounds great, guys. It does sound great. So we'll talk about the band. We'll talk about the new album as we eat. So I got two different pizzas here. I got a cheese and I got a Lou. The Lou.
What here?
Adam kind of hinted at the fact that maybe there were some finicky eaters in the band when I talked about this with
Do we
him.
have any sort of plates?
They're all in the back seat.
We got them. I don't know who
This is the Lou. So
This is the Lou.
I'm definitely not the finicky eater.
Yeah, me neither.
this is mushrooms, tomatoes, right?
Cool. Crier.
Spinach. Is that mushrooms?
For you. Chiss.
I'm going to grab a piece just to hold it up to the camera and actually put it in my tummy.
Yes.
Okay, we need utensils. I need
Yep.
some sort
We need
of
a
cutting.
cutting-
Got,
the
so
cutting
I've got.
utensil.
Here's a fork.
All right, we're on a roll.
Something a little
We're
sharper.
working.
Yeah,
here.
something a little sharper.
I've got some car
It
keys.
rhymes with mife.
Oh, there they are.
Uh-huh.
Buried in.
What are you gonna do with a bike?
Okay, here we go. And the other one is deep dish cheese. Lou's is, I mean, we can all agree, right? Just quintessential Chicago deep dish pizza.
Absolutely.
This is the pizza you tell your out-of-town guests to get when they want to know what Chicago pizza is all about. Can you see the steam rising? Actually, my rear view mirror is completely steaming over as I hold up this piece of pizza.
Yes, look at that.
Oh, this is like a TV commercial here, looking at the cheese dripping. All right, I'm going to put it on the plate. Okay, so we should distribute. Let's hand more plates up. Adam has the unenviable position of holding this. Are we all just going to bust into this one first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the jam.
It is the jam. Let's pump it up.
Let's
need
kick
more-
out that.
Thank you for making it more rock. I appreciate that.
Let's kick out that jam.
Just lost a fork.
Yeah, we
First-
got another one.
First casualty of the night. I hope you're wearing clothes you don't mind getting messy.
It's fine. It's worth it.
It's all
All I own.
You will very rarely see me do this podcast in anything but a black hoodie.
That's smart. That's thinking.
Oh yeah, I got that one.
Thank you.
Who needs another fork?
Eventually.
Adam and I will both need forks.
So when did you start doing this this podcast?
It will be 5 years in May.
Because this is the world's
Thank you.
only
It's only one.
podcast from
There you go. Some
Brought
forks
to
on
you
it
from
for
a
you.
car,
Sorry
right?
about that.
Okay, now I've got a movie about your life stuck in my head.
I'm glad you told us the lyrics before we started it. When you read them.
Oh right.
Yes.
It's
Didn't help me.
Definitely
Didn't help
All
me
right,
much.
this will be yours, Adam, and you can close that,
Okay.
or I can help you with that. I hope people watching appreciate this game of Tetris we're playing here.
They better.
We got the square coming down.
All right.
It's well done though. You guys are holding it together up
Yeah.
in the front for sure.
I
Impressive.
tried to be really strategic. When Joe from Rise Against was in the car, we got like an 18-inch pizza.
Well, that's a tougher maneuver. Yeah.
Yes, so I went with the medium deep dish, having learned that the 18-inch on the dashboard presents all kinds of logistical concerns. And there's nothing wrong, we can agree as we eat this deep dish pizza, nothing wrong with eating it with a fork and knife.
Well, in this scenario,
In a car?
Yeah, in
No
a car
question.
especially, for sure. I think you just have to do it. All right, first taste, first impressions.
it's
amazing.
Is Lou Malnati's pizza, right? I mean, it's
Lou Malnati's.
Right.
Now, with the Lou, I heard that it was... So usually it's the crumbled sausage, but not in this case?
not in the Lou. This is like a veggie pizza. This is healthy.
Yeah.
We're actually going to lose weight from eating this pizza.
That's what I heard.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I can feel the pounds falling off.
Now, is there any Chicago rules? Me and Chris were talking about it. Chicago rules regarding the use of silverware when it comes to deep dish pizza?
I think you just have to ingest it. It doesn't matter what the mechanism is.
Yeah.
You just got to get it in your stomach.
I know there are rules. Chicago food rules.
I've always taken it work the utensil halfway, and then once you can lift it
Yeah.
in some sort of
I think that's a safe
Once you're past the
palatable
flop.
fashion. Yeah. Once you're past the flop, that's a good idea, and then you're good to pick it up.
This is going to be horrific to see on camera, but here we go.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Now you've got it.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Just got to let it fall into your mouth. It's
Yeah.
like a sweet waterfall of cheese and meats. All right, so that's delicious. We can agree on that.
Absolutely.
Lou Malnati's. Let's talk about your band. Let's talk about the new music. I should have. I wasn't thinking at him. I should have moved your guitar mic in the back, so they both have mics. But here we are.
No.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can we go song by song for a little bit? through the album? I mentioned St. Jane. It's this 2-minute raw and ramshackle, punk-spirited opener.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really one of the first songs we heard from this album. Tell me a little bit about it.
It was, I think it was one of the last songs we recorded for the record. Mm-hmm. We were in Ivy Studios recording this tune called Shaking Over You, and we had a couple hours left. We usually don't get done early. It rarely happens. We always get done late. But we got done early this day, so we had some extra time, and I had that acoustic guitar hanging around in the control room, and I just kind of finished putting that song together that morning, and I played it for them, those guys and Jason, and they all kind of watched what I was doing and listened to what I was doing. And we were like, let's do this. Let's just not think about it, and we'll record it. And we went in, and that recording was like the third time that song was ever done. It was take 3.
And sometimes you just nail it. You know when you've done it.
Yeah, it was. We didn't have time to overthink anything. You know what I mean?
You mentioned "Shaking Over You." There's a song. I mean, you don't go gently out of the album. There are big, brawny guitar sounds on this. Almost has a '90s vibe to me.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
I'm not wrong.
No,
No.
we were going for that a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me. I mean, just tell me about the songs. I mean, tell me where your head was at. What?
"Shaking Over You" was written last winter or 2 winters ago. It was just about this time of year, being cold and
When we're all at the level of fatigue, like we just want it to be over.
right, and drinking, and to stay warm.
Because we're all at that point right now. We're recording this mid-February. We're done. Every day it's snowing, it's sleeting, it's balls cold.
Balls cold.
Balls cold. We're ready for the transition to spring. Even like consistent 40-degree days sound amazing to me right now.
They do.
I've lived here my whole life. Harpoon, an obvious single. I think Chris is the MVP of Harpoon.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
yay.
You lock in this really great groove on that. I think it's a great song. And again, another great sing-along type song on the album.
Very good.
Is that fair to call him MVP? I'm not stepping on any
I like it.
toes.
No, that's great.
No.
Chris
I know you like
Chris
it.
is the MVP a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Please, is there any other ones you think I'm MVP on?
Yeah, let's go down that list.
Yeah, let's start there.
We talked about movie about your life. Swim Before You Sink. The opening riff, I mean, that sounded to me, and forgive me for drawing comparisons to other songs, but I immediately heard Hey Bulldog meets Who Do You Love?
Cool.
Bo Diddley.
A little Bo Diddley, for sure. And then it takes this cool left turn with the piano. It's a really well done song, I think.
We had to find the most upright piano we could find in Chicago. It happened to be one of the house pianos at Ivy Lab. We were lucky. And sometimes that little out of tuneness is what gives it the character. You know.
Fighting in Cars. Is this a personal song?
Do I have to answer that?
It sure sounds personal. Relationship woes.
I think everyone's been through that, right?
There's not enough oxygen for both of us to win. Yeah. El Patron. Is that the taco place on Fullerton?
Yes.
Is it really? You wrote a song about the taco place on Fullerton.
No.
It is one of the best tacos in Chicago.
We tracked right not next to it, but
Pretty close to it. We
a
recorded
couple blocks away. So we
We were
when we tracked,
the song. The lyrical content doesn't have anything to do with that restaurant, but
we fell in love with it.
we needed to pay it some sort of homage.
I want to thank Christy for watching, also Chef Ben Randall for watching. Stuck around. This to me is very emblematic of what has become, I think, the AM Taxi sound. There's an Americana vibe. It's got grit. It's got that punk edge to it. Again, sing-alongable, big hooks. Mm-hmm. I would say this is
Thanks.
a pretty quintessential AM Taxi song.
I would have to agree with you. Say anything else? I mean,
Well, on a related note, is Fed Up your Stairway to Heaven?
Fed Up. It's kind of our Louie.
See, you mix the metaphor there. I don't know. Had you kept it in the Zeppelin, I would have been able to follow. If you said, "Well, no, it's really more of our immigrant song." Okay, but
I don't know.
but by going Kingsman on me, I didn't see that coming. Brandy, Don't Let Me Down, another song we got an early taste of for the album. It was an encore for you.
Yeah.
Tell me,
So you stuck around to the encore.
Yes,
Nice.
ball buster.
That's great.
Is it about a person or is it about your love for Brandy and Carvassier?
It's about a person, but I do enjoy the other one as well. Brandy was a flight attendant, a passport agent, I should say. We were I was having some trouble getting my passport expedited, and she really saved me last minute.
So everything in your life is really fair game for a song. The taco place, the passport agent. Santi Santiago says the whole record is great.
Thank you.
Shaking over you helps get my day going.
All
Awesome.
right.
Thank you.
All right.
That's got to feel great, right?
It's great. It's great that you made it that far into the album.
Right,
That's second to
right.
last.
Carquin Carney, again, presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. We are in a parking lot outside the Lou Malnati's carryout in Wicker Park. We're like right across from Wicker Park. And the food is great. Do you need more pizza? Or are you kind of like, are you nervous about eating and talking at the same time?
No, I'm good for a minute. I'll let you know.
How about you guys back there?
I'm good for now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We can go
I'm gonna
for
jump back
seconds
in
in
and
a
Oh,
second.
I'll be back
let
in, but-
the,
Okay. I just want to make sure that everyone is well sated
Yeah.
and taken care of tonight.
Indeed.
Adam, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that you've been in the scene for a long time, starting with before Lucky Boys. You were in a band before Lucky Boys in high school.
Yeah, well, Lucky Boys was kind of a high school band. Well, for me at least. I mean, I was still in high school when we started. Yeah, we had a few bands before that that me and Joe were in.
How would you characterize being active in the music scene now as opposed to when you were a wide-eyed kid getting started?
Like, compare what the difference
Just
in the time or just in my...
the vibe, the way the bands support each other or don't, the way the club system works. I mean, the way the crowds are, the way... I mean...
It's different for sure. I think there's certain similarities, though. The DIY kind of idea is just different. It used to be postcards and, you know, snail mail kind of sending things around, and now it's everything's a click away. It was cassette tapes that you dub yourself over and over, 40, 50 times.
40, 80 times.
40, 80 times in your high-speed dub boombox. It's just, I think it's easier now to get the name out for bands, but I think it's harder too because there's more. Everybody has access to it, so there's a lot more competition.
Are you still having fun?
Well, that's the main reason we do it. We just came from practice. We haven't played since the show because we've been a little bit busy. It's a blast.
Are you lining up spring and summer right now?
We're trying to. There's a few cards that have to kind of fall in line for that to work. We're waiting on a couple people.
It's cryptic.
No, why? Oh. Is it?
And speaking of, your time in the scene, you, Adam, personally, I mean, you've kind of taken your musicianship, your experience. I mean, you're kind of... I certainly wouldn't call you like an elder statesman because you're still a young dude, but I mean, you're kind of shepherding bands. You're producing them, you're engineering them, you're helping baby bands out.
Well, I wouldn't call all the baby bands. I mean, they're a lot of these groups that I'm working with, they know what they're doing, but they just want another set of ears on them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of really cool ones coming up that I've had a chance to work with. I think you've had some of those bands in this car.
I probably have. Can I tell you, kind of related, but not really. I'm terrible with names. It's something I strive to be better at in life. I'm terrible with names. I work for 101 WKQX, the alternative station.
Yeah.
And every year, the station does their big holiday shows. And they do them at the Aragon Ballroom. I was at one of them. I think it may have been the Pumpkins night. A guy came up to me and said, "Hey, James, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Great, nice to see you." He said, "Do you remember me?" I'm like, "Of course I do." He said, "What's my name?" I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm really, I'm embarrassed. I don't know your name." He's like, "Come on, I was in your car."
Oh, no.
And I have people in my car every week, sometimes relative or complete strangers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean you no disrespect. You got to help me. I was in Them Guilty Aces, which is a rockabilly band, an awesome, like amazing harmonies, great rockabilly band. There were also like 10 guys in the band, and they were all in the car. And I felt terrible, but it was just one of those things. Like, I'm bad at names to start with. And I think that's why we all have significant others in life, or why we need significant others, because they serve as buffers. They're the people who go in with a hand saying, "Hi, I'm so and so."
Right.
But when you're out in the wilderness by yourself, it's tough.
It's tough. I'm bad with names. I'm worse with faces.
I'm bad with faces when I see them in places I'm not expecting them.
Right. Yeah, people would sometimes surprise us and show up in different towns.
Right.
And be like, "Well, you're that girl from Pittsburgh. Why are you in Atlanta?"
Like, I don't have the right context for your face.
Right. It's I remember you when we were in Pittsburgh. But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, my brain doesn't click over like that.
Yeah, same way.
Are you guys good with names?
Terrible.
Yeah, not strong. Not at all.
Well, I'm James.
Nice to meet you
Yeah.
again.
No, thank you. That's Adam.
This is a weird
sings.
Uber. What's going on?
Oh my God! Before I came here tonight, I had some time to kill, so I went to Reckless over in Milwaukee.
Cool.
I said that because I want cool points. Yeah, man, I went record shopping.
Find anything?
Just checked out some of the records. No, I didn't buy anything actually. I went through the clearance bins and I had in my hand an old Alan Parsons record and an old Sammy Hagar record, and I almost got to the counter. I'm like, even at $1.99 a piece, do I really want these? Will I ever play these? I talked myself out of spending $4 because I'm like, I know better. I'm not going to listen to "Turn of a Friendly Card" by Alan Parsons ever. And just because there was name familiarity, I pulled it out of the clearance bin. That's not my point. Mm-hmm. So I parked in Milwaukee, and as I got out of my car, there was a guy on my side of the street berating an Uber driver on the other street, on the other side of the street, saying, I saw you, you didn't turn around, that's not how this, Uber works. And they started arguing back and forth, and the dude was really loud. He looked like he was in athletic gear, like he just worked out. He was all
Pumped up from the gym?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And then he got into the Uber. I thought, that's got to be the shittiest ride
No doubt.
in rideshare history. Like, how uncomfortable. Like, at that point, can't you just say, you know what, I'll take another Uber? Or can't the Uber guy say, sorry, this didn't work out. Good luck. Here's the number for Lyft. Or
Hopefully they patch some things up along the way.
So how about this weather then?
Right, everyone can agree.
Right. How about this traffic? It really... I can't imagine after, berating this dude in public loudly, like jumping in the back seat of the car. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine that stress level.
So I've heard that this rumor that the Ubers, they can't really rate you back
Right.
anymore. That was a thing, and now it's not a thing anymore. I don't know if that's supposed to be.
And if I were a better talk show host, DJ, whatever, I would have somehow tied this back to fighting in cars. I would have saved that story for when I talked about fighting in cars, but I didn't.
That's all right.
But let the record show my brain went there at some point in the interview. So
We're there now.
Yeah,
we're here now.
We made it there.
We're circling back. All right. Okay, good point. Chef Ben Randall says at least he didn't get into the front seat
That's
of
true.
that Uber.
That's true.
That would have been profoundly awkward. The new album is Shiver by Me. AM Taxi will wait to see where we can see you next. And you're doing a record release show, like a physical vinyl release show, right?
Release show, yeah, that'll be in a couple months.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we're going to do some cool stuff. We've got some written out lyrics and some different color vinyls to choose from.
Gotta love colored vinyl.
Yeah.
I have next month, I'm kind of booking ahead, there's a new record production facility in Chicago. So the guys who run that at Smashed Plastic will be jumping in my car.
Oh, yeah?
Cool.
Yeah.
Smashed Plastic.
It's a cool name.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Also, I've got more bands coming up. Bummed Out will be joining me in a few weeks. I'm trying to think what else. I've got a bunch of stuff. I try to work ahead.
Yeah, you got
Because booking guests is hard.
You got to work it.
It's hard. And we booked this like a month ago.
We tried to a little bit before that. I think it took a little while to find a place and time.
Too obvious, but I'm going to give David William Fuller this. They should just take an AM taxi. Then,
Oh, no, I like that. That's up my alley.
Adam, you love the taxi ride.
That sounds like a
Are we,
Chris joke.
are we, gonna,
That's good. Thank you.
we're going to start going down the dad joke road?
Right.
Adam just winced in pain, and it was caught for all to see. It's on Facebook Live. His scowl, his eye roll. Actually, the eye roll was detected on the microphone. It was so violent.
You're like, whoop. I don't know what an eye roll sounds like.
In conclusion, the new album's great.
Thanks.
Really,
Thank
it
you.
was worth the wait. It really, all the songs connect. It's great American music. I mean, you borrow elements of certain uniquely American styles. You make them your own. I just love it. I think your band sounds amazing.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so as further reward for your time here, we're going to keep eating pizza. We're going to turn off the Facebook Live. We're going to shut down the podcast, shut it down, and we're going to eat more Lou Malnati's pizza here in Wicker Park. In fact, when you order Lou Malnati's pizza in Wicker Park, you get a free beard.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah, imagine if they opened one in Logan Square.
Oh, man.
It'll be on.
It'll be a
Yeah.
bigger beard.
All hair.
It'll be a bigger beard. It'll come
More
with
beard for your buck.
some mustache wax. All right. Thank you for watching on Facebook Live. If you like this podcast, if you like AM Taxi, tell a friend. Spread the word. That's how this all works in the modern day. CarConCarney.com. If you are watching at Facebook Live, the audio will be available soon on your favorite podcatcher. Thank you again, guys.
Thanks for having us, James.
Yeah,
It was a
appreciate
blast.
it.